So good evening and welcome back over to the Magic Kingdom. We are finally back over here after a little bit of a hiatus from the Magic Kingdom since holidays were in full swing. It was very busy over here, but we decided to come on over today because we haven't been in some time, but also got some fast passes for a few rides. But also, as you know, over in Tomorrowland they are building the new Tron Light Cycle Run, not Power Run because that's what they call Shanghai's, ours is just Light Cycle Run. They recently put out brand new test seats for the Tron Light Cycle Run, so we are going to go over and check that out. We also have a couple of fast passes, and we're going to try to see how much we can do because for tonight, Magic Kingdom closes at 8 p.m. It is currently 6 o'clock at night. We only have 2 hours till park close, and fireworks are at 8 p.m. So what we may end up doing is maybe in the back side of the park and work our way out slowly and see some of the crowds as they leave. So we got a fun night. I don't think there's anything special going on. Last night they had after hours. Tomorrow night is extra magic hours for people staying on property. So we kind of a fun night. Plus we can see a little bit of the Christmas decorations before they start taking them down. Just kind of walking on the main street end. You can see all the lights kind of turning on. We had actually kind of avoided all this for a while. We had been a few times. You know, it's the normal lights, but like get to see the tree maybe at least one more time. Get to see that. We actually never saw the Frozen Castle light up show that they have here. So we'll get to see the castle at least have its lights on because probably in the next couple weeks those will start coming down as well now that we are past the busiest season and the Christmas season. So yeah, you see they actually have the Move It, Shake It, Mouse Could Dance It event going on right now. You can see just right past it, there's the castle, all lights on and everything. Always a great time. So what we're actually going to do is we're actually heading to Tomorrowland. And what we may do is we're going to play the game of, because we actually have a fast pass for Space Mountain in about 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And then we actually have a fast pass for Big Thunder Mountain. So we are going to do both of those. But something else that I feel like I've done a really bad job of is checking out this Tomorrowland sign. But if you look in the middle, you see how there's a light? It like changes colors. I don't know how well it's coming up on the camera. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, it's like something that someone pointed out one day, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. So I think overall Tomorrowland has the best nighttime aesthetic. But especially with the idea that they're going back to the more of the retro look. Be more simplest, but like simple stuff. Also, if you're wondering what this is, I found out that this more likely culminates to those coming off. So the fins right here, that's for culminating to the fins coming off and going back to the old style look of the People Mover with just the regular like beams like that. So what we actually decided to do is we were going to go in and just try to do the People Mover, but we really want to go over here and check out the Tron Light Cycle test seats. Ironically enough, look like the People Mover just stopped. So we're gonna come over here and we're actually gonna check them out. Now I don't know how big the crowd's gonna be around them, just because it is something brand new. Worst case, we go in, we do our fast pass for space, we check out some things in there, and then we come back out and check them out. But we really want to see what they look like. So as you can see right here, so if you're looking at it, so Space Mountain is right here. If you look, this is the gift shop for Space Mountain, and you have the right here. This is the bikes. These are actually just test seats. They're not actual train cars. These are what are going to be test seats for you to see if you're big enough to ride it, so for certain body dimensions. Now, we did get a really good picture of them. Ali got a good picture by himself, and then one with us on it, so I'll put that one in here, and one in here. And so, this is pretty cool. I do know this is a 48-inch height requirement. Also, kind of funny, now programming Tron Light Cycle Run presented by Enterprise. So, Enterprise is sponsoring this. So, Allie's already said she's not riding this, and it's so the thing. Well, and you got to remember, this is going to be going from 0 to 60. This is going to be the same. It's going to be the same like intensity launch as Rock and Roller Coaster almost. Little less intense because it's not being pulled. It's linear. It's like Cheetah Hunt more. Yeah, so you'll be in that position the entire way.
So weird.
Oh yeah, it's a unique experience. Alright, just a little bit early, but hopefully it's not too big a deal. It's time for our Space Mountain Fast Passes. One of the oldest rides. And ironically enough, next Wednesday, this ride will be celebrating 45 years of operating. It opened January 15th in 1975. So this is an old attraction. It's kind of funny, so with the Tron idea, this will be, you're going to be putting one of the most technologically advanced coasters next to one of the oldest coasters in the world. Well, really one of the oldest steel coasters in the world. So kind of a weird fact about this Space Mountain is that until 2009, this whole section was all open, and you could technically see the trains going above you. And also, when you rode the People Mover, you could see down into the station. But when they did the 2009 refurbishment, I think it was, they enclosed everything and put these like screen-based things in here to give it a more futuristic look.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember with the first time I rode this ride. First time I rode this ride, I could see people up there.
Yeah. Well, and also the trains used to have like this like glow-in-the-dark thing that you could see. So that's something I want.
That when I was a kid, I was 6 years old. I remember that, and I looked up.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, we actually just got off of Space Mountain, and ironically enough, right before we got to the unloading area, we actually got stopped in one of the brake zone areas. We were stuck there for a couple minutes, and a little like thing came on, little bit of lights came on. I got real worried that we were gonna get stuck on it, but we didn't. So, also I forgot to describe. So what happens with the Tron bikes is the way the back. So it's a back harness with some leg restraints, very similar to Flight of Passage. But to get them to lock down, you have to pull the handles down to lock it onto your back. But there are like leg restraints and a back restraint to go with it. Well, now that we've done Space Mountain, I think it's time to do a People Mover, which they just stopped, but it looks like it's going again, so that's why the line's a little longer. Normally by this time of the night, usually you have no line. And especially now, you'll start seeing the crowds kind of gravitate towards Main Street because we're getting ready for Happily Ever After, which is right at Park Close tonight. And not too much time later, about 5 minutes, just because it took a while to get up the ramp, we're already here. So one nice thing about rides like this, Buzz, and some of the like what they call Omni Movers, which are constant moving rides, they're always moving unless something happens, which is a whole other thing, but great time. We're like middle of the train. We is middle of the train. We're never middle of the train. This is really weird. I'm not used to this. Why do you spell what? There's no. I don't know what's in this area. Oh, it may be the. No, Lunching Pad only has like pretzels. Hey, good.
I love the lighting at Tomorrowland. Oh god. Almost fell over. I do know the rumor is that they're going back to the old retro style of Tomorrowland with the look, with adding like the Monsters Inc. look. So, but we get an idea. I don't think it's supposed to be super busy tonight, even for the fireworks, just because the park does close at 8. But you can't really get a good view of anything because they have these giant like blocks here. Oh well.
For the experimental prototype Media Tomorrow. Progress was the inspiration for Epcot. Forward-thinking ideas.
I feel like you can smell popcorn anywhere in this park.
Popcorn is like delicious in Disney parks.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go to Disney parks, doesn't matter. Disneyland, here, anywhere. Like, it is so good.
Yeah, it is.
Remember at 9 a.m. I was hungry and you were like, oh, you want something? Yeah, I want popcorn.
Woo.
Popcorn at Disneyland.
The only downside is that, you know, we never actually got to go. We never got to come to the party, so we never got to see the cool they had an overlay for the Speedway, and we never got to see it. So that's what all that stuff is. We just never went because we don't really think we don't think the Christmas party is that like worth it. But they did add a lot of overlays this year, so maybe next year for sure we'll go. Nice. You get a little look at Tron. You can see there's some lights in the middle there, but nothing you can't see right now. Well, let's come back another day, but there's a lot of work been done. Looks like they're starting to make the entrance walkway area.
Flying adventure. Hop on board the Astro Orbiter. Pilot your own spacecraft as you take a spin around the planet and ascend to otherworldly heights.
I'll tell you, Astro Orbiter is scary. It is so high up and it's ridiculous. I'll tell you what's pretty cool. Castle right there. Really nice view. We'll get a better view probably coming out this way of everything. Oh wow.
castle's so bright, it's actually, yeah, there you go. It's a little busy on Main Street. It's not awful.
Monsters Incorporated. So drop in and join Mike Wazowski and all his
Well, when we come during the daytime, we see a lot more of the updates as well. So, I mean, the only thing that's happening though is Tron right now. So that's the biggest thing. Even though Main Street didn't look too bad, now that we're off the People Mover, I will say the one thing that I always have the slightest thing about is I really think that people need to just, when there's a dark area, you're on a dark ride, please don't turn your flash on. It's just to consider for the rest of everyone else. It's the only downside. The people in the train behind us had their flash on all the way through space and literally were flashing it in my eyes. So I got a little annoyed with it, but it is what it is at this point. But we are going to go into Fantasyland because we're going to go up to Storybook Circus to go check out Big Top Souvenirs. Because that's usually a good place to get any sort of really good to see if we can find anything. They're trying to show Allie because they do have the Mandalorian Spear jersey and I've been trying to look for it for some time, but still haven't found it.
Wow!
So we're just going to take a little stop in Storybook Circus, see if they, because usually I always say two places will always have something. It'll be Big Top Souvenirs back here or Emporium at the front. There's a couple of Spear jerseys I actually want to see. One is the Mandalorian one, where it has the child on the front. And then there's a Pixar one now that they have.
Pixar one I saw the other day.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, just gonna go in here and check that out. So unfortunately, they didn't have either of the Spear jerseys there. I know the Mandalorian one was super popular, so it ended up not like lasting super long, but the Pixar one I know just came out as well. So I wonder if it's one of those things now they're only at like Hollywood Studios. Just kind of walking back behind. So we actually walked by Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and they're posting a 105-minute wait, and they were just telling everyone in line, saying this is gonna be the last thing you're doing tonight. You will miss the fireworks, and you will, like, it'll be the last thing because the park does close at 8 tonight. So it's kind of the downside with the park closing a lot earlier, but at the same time it's kind of nice because then you don't feel like you're out too late. Also, for those people who like to go from open to close, it's not actually that demanding then to be here from open to close if it's only 9 to 8. It's not like when it was right like the day of Christmas, they opened at 6 a.m. We're open until midnight. So trying to go from open to close that day would be nearly impossible. So Peter Pan's flight.
35.
Only 35 minutes? I think it's longer than that.
It was 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, it was. And Small World has its line way up here. Now Small World is good because it doesn't have it has fast passes, but not people use the fast pass line. So usually, like, I think this is like a 30-minute wait for it. Yep, 30 minutes. Ooh, they got some new. So we came into Mentamori. Got some cool merch. They have this nice blue shirt that says "There's room for one more."
35.
$35. Ooh, that's a dark shirt. Ooh, this is a jacket. Oh, it's a zip-up hoodie. That's really cool. Zip-up hoodie, $50. Oh, like how they have actually have pants. Ooh, look at that's a cool shirt. $25 for that one. Ooh, I like the long sleeve. That's cool. Long sleeve is $35. Just kind of walking our way through Frontierland. It's a little, actually it's kind of not very busy over here. I always have learned that like Tomorrowland and Frontierland become very kind of empty right before the fireworks happen. So, because like I said, the fireworks do go off in like 45 minutes. So it's kind of nice, like, because like we're kind of in this weird thing of like fireworks will be going off until about 8:20, and then they do also run, I think, the castle showed at 8:45, which is weird because the park closes at 8. So I don't know, but I do know the one thing though to keep in mind if you're coming down the next couple months. Splash Mountain is currently in its annual refurb right now. It's not in an extensive refurb. This is its normal maintenance refurb.
But at least you got Thunder Mountain.
True, I did. So it did just close down the 6th of January. It's supposed to be closed, I think, through the end of February this year. So it should be opening just in time for spring break. But right now it is closed for its normal maintenance because, like we talked about in other videos, a lot of these water rides do need to go down for some normal maintenance. If you want to get yourself an idea what this looks like without any water in it, there you go. So the way it works, I don't know if anyone has ever thought about this. So when you come down the drop for Splash, when you come across the splash zone, What it is there's little brakes that sit at a certain angle to slow you down so you don't just keep running, because if it just lets you keep going, you would hit the bottom here at like full speed still. So they have brakes down here to slow you down. But also there's absolutely no water in this thing, and there's a lot of scaffolding up near the top. But like I said, this is a normal splash. Going down this time of the year is pretty normal because of the cooler weather. So that just does mean that like Big Thunder Mountain will probably have longer waits. Space Mountain may have longer waits because one of the big attractions in the Magic Kingdom is currently down. Well, speaking of Big Thunder Mountain, it is time for our Fast Passes. We did take a little time to get over here, just to make sure we had enough time to do. So once we got back here, we just walk right up to our Fast Pass, so we don't have to wait much time while we're waiting. Big Thunder Mountain at night is an interesting attraction because like you have a lot of points where you're like going underneath, in and out of darkness. So now you're kind of consistently going through darkness.
Riding this at firework time.
Oh yeah, it's a really good time. So I didn't record anything on Big Thunder because it is very dark, but also we were middle of the train, and also because I broke the wrist strap on this quite a while ago, I'm like more concerned about like dropping it. So like if we come during the day, I will have the GoPro and use the GoPro instead. Plus the GoPro has a wider angled lens too, so yeah. Allie's just looking at some of the wait times because we still have about 20 minutes till fireworks.
Yeah.
So we're trying to see if we can do something else really quick.
Jungle is 10 if you want to do jungle.
We can go over and see what jungle looks like.
15 for haunted.
Do you want to try to see, what do you know, what, do you have pirates pulled up?
Yep, it's 15 minutes.
Oh, so it's really no line for anything right now.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I do like is when they have the fireworks at park close, because then all the rides have really short waits at the end of the night. Well, since it is close to park close, and everyone's now waiting for fireworks, and like all these rides will close at 8. But we do Haunted Mansion, it's only a 15-minute wait. And I don't see very many people going in, so it should be awesome. Ooh, storm rolling in. 15 minutes.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. Our tour begins here in this gallery. Here where you see paintings of some of our guests as they appeared in their corruptible, mortal state. Is this haunted room actually stretching? Or is it your imagination? And consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors. Which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Of course, there's always my way. Oh, I didn't mean to frighten you prematurely.
Ooh, I love the Haunted Mansion. Oof. And I love when there's no one in line and I have to fight 1,000 people to get on. Also, all the cobwebs are brought in. Someone needs to dust this place. It's kind of dirty.
Oh yes, and no flash pictures, please. We spirits are frightfully sensitive to bright lights.
Oh my lord.
was like really cool because there's only maybe like 20 people plus in the entire room we were in, so there wasn't many people. We weren't being herded like cattle, and then there was like no, like going up to the actual ride, not many people either. So I always say if you've seen Happily Ever After and you want to like, you know, want to do some rides, this is a great time to do it because at about 45 minutes before they happen, that usually ends up being like no one in line for some of these rides. Wait, there it is. Yeah, there's a weird quiet before they start the fireworks. I love the lights that they do behind the castle.
Like the music.
Oh my god.
Music with Jordan Fisher and the lady.
Yeah.
Holy cow. This thing's really good. I'm cold tonight.
It's chilly tonight. Still say, best firework display here on property. I'll link down below some of the times we've seen it, especially from the first times ever watching it. Watching right in front of the castle is the best, but there's a good spot we have that we like to watch off to the right. But now what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to go behind everything, go down by Crystal Palace and go through the Emporium. Wow, the Emporium was empty, but I finally found the thing I was looking for, Allie. It was the nice Starbucks cup. So, but you know, I always love watching, like, so you can tell how it's not very busy today. You can actually sometimes go up and watch the fireworks on there if they don't have it like reserved for the VIPs. But we're trying to beat the rush out. Yeah. So we actually avoided the monorails because even though the monorail does move kind of fast, the ferry boats usually never have anyone on them. Plus, they're running 3 and they can usually hold up to 500 to 600 people per boat.
And I like the ferry boat at night and during the day.
Oh, it's so relaxing.
Yeah, and you have relaxing music, Disney music, I should say.
It's really nice. Well, it took a little longer to go through the ferry. They actually held both ferries there until they started sending people out from the fireworks. So it took a little longer. So fireworks ended and then we didn't leave the dock over there until almost like 8:25, and we were on the boat at like 8:15. But the one trick I always say is if you ride the ferry and it's full, give it a few minutes, let everyone else get off, and then just kind of go on the back side and just be one of the last ones off. Don't rush off because then it's just no point. Yeah, and then you can always go to the far, don't go to the staircase near where everyone's exiting, go to the back side so you can be on the back side of the crowd. So after our little time to get home, at least it took us a little longer because we thought that because we saw another ferry rolling up, we were like, oh, we'll get on this ferry boat, they'll leave, and they'll have the other one coming over. But they ended up waiting a while, so we should have just taken the bus because they were running the buses because they do, so you have 3 ways of getting back to the Ticket Transportation Center. You can either take the ferry boat, you can take a bus, or you take the monorail. But there are 2 monorails, so it's really 4 ways, but by the time we were leaving, the monorail line was already all the way down the ramp. Now I know that they hold a lot of people and there's always a monorail sitting behind it. We just don't want to deal with that. But overall, just a really fun night. I mean, got to see the new Tron test seats. I actually got to try them out. Sits really weird, and just the idea of having to be launched from that is intense. Then I got to ride Space Mountain. The only thing we wish we could have done is come to the Christmas party because apparently the Space Mountain has a cool overlay, so that would have been cool to do. Then went on to People Mover, walked around over to Big Thunder Mountain, did Big Thunder Mountain, saw Splash being worked on since now in a refurbishment time frame. Then we back and did Haunted Mansion and there was no one in the room. Doing Haunted Mansion that time of the day, best thing. And then got to see a little fireworks. So overall just a really fun night, and I also bought Allie's new Starbucks cup, the one that I was trying to buy her for Christmas, but then we're changing it out. So, but with all that being said, as we do head out from a very magical night at Magic Kingdom, we will see y'all next time.